Dojo Live recap show. Today is Monday, September 27th, 2021. It's the end of September already. Wow, time just flying as we're having fun. So we're starting a new week. This is Tulio Siragusa. I'm broadcasting from Southern California, joined with Kim Lantis from Hermosillo, Mexico. We're going to recap last week's shows. We had 3 live shows and a rebroadcast, and we're going to do it in 10 minutes. That's the challenge.
We hope.
Let's see if we can highlight things that we liked and maybe encourage some of you who missed those shows to check them out. So what did we have? What was the lineup like last week? We had a rebroadcast on Tuesday because we had a rescheduled interview with Eric Passagia, who's the CEO at Seventh Planet. He's an actor and stand-up comedian, writer, and director. And we talked about using the power of intention and integrity as a way to brand your business. That was a great rebroadcast from a previous interview we've done. Check it out. And then on Wednesday morning, we spoke with the Chief Marketing Officer at Kasasa. We spoke with Keith Brannan, and we talked about managing a remote workforce without sacrificing innovation. Very interesting conversation there. And Wednesday afternoon at noon, we spoke with Adeyemo, who's the founder of Joko, about alternative business models in today's creator economy, specifically for music artists or want-to-be music artists. And then, of course, finally, on Thursday, we had a really great conversation about AI and contracts, how legal teams can elevate their legal game, using AI. And that was with Vishal Sunak, who is the co-founder and CEO of Lake Square. So we had 4 shows last week. We're going to focus on the live ones. Which one of those shows stood out the most for you, Kim?
Well, I got to participate with Adeyemo at Joko. It was challenging for me as a non-musician. I seriously cannot clap and keep a rhythm. It's But as far as the creator economy and just breaking out of the mold to do something different, I definitely congratulate him for that. I also think it's a great story, his own personal story. I think of coming out of like a financial background and then shifting into what he's now doing creatively to help upcoming artists to get off the ground, basically. And I think that's an interesting story. For me, I think I identified more with the personal transition of just moving on from one path to a path that you maybe didn't intend to take from the beginning than I could with the path he chose. But it's a great story nonetheless of winding up somewhere that you didn't really think you'd get to.
Yeah, from a banker to an entrepreneur in technology and music, which is his passion. It reminded me a great deal of the interview we had 3 years ago with Ultra. I think actually it's coming up in almost 4 years with Ultra, where it's a blockchain gaming company. A lot of what he talked about, which is empowering the musicians to be able to not only reach out their audience, sell to it, monetize their audience. It looks and feels very much like a blockchain environment. I think we talked about it offline, how they're mimicking some of that as well. So great show about how the creator economy is still in its infancy in terms of what the potential is. But technology and companies and platforms like Joko make it possible to actually make sort of this creator economy
and this increasing trend of the need to personalize, the need to have choice and say in the matter, that's not going anywhere, I don't think. So, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity for musicians to create the real image of who they are. So it's a genuine way for them to reach out, connect with their audience, versus being under the guide of a label that might restrict them to being a certain personality. So great show. Check it out. Really loved the conversation with Kasasa about managing innovation when you have remote workers. I'm a big supporter of whiteboarding, so it's been a struggle for me personally doing things remotely when I'm used to, especially when it comes to strategy. I'd rather be in a room with people and whiteboard and think through things and just work hands-on. And it was clear that you still need that to be very effective in terms of driving innovation. But there's tools and things in place because of everybody being remote that still allows for teams to collaborate, to work together, and to innovate. And there's times where you work alone, where you come up with some innovation on your own, but there's still that need for that in-person interaction. So hybrid models are kind of the way of the future, but the in-person, let's sit down and figure this out, it's not going to go away anytime soon. Let's just face it. So I really enjoy that conversation.
People are people, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll take several more millions, billions, I don't know, of years to work that out of us.
You just can't do certain things where looking at a screen. You can't feel the body language, the temperament of the people. You just can't do that. So some things you just have to do it in person. So it was great to hear some tips on how to be effective with innovation while working remote, but also the importance of going back to getting together when you can. Finally, on Thursday, we spoke with Vishal Sunak about AI and contracts. We always think about sales and marketing and folks in various verticals in industry leveraging AI to improve their business models, how they connect with customers, how smart they are in terms of what they have access to, virtual assistants that make junior folks look like senior folks. But legal's sort of been left behind in terms of leveraging AI to improve how they do their work. So it was interesting to hear how, especially with companies that have thousands of contracts, right? There's always some difference, some nuance in every contract. Not every contract is boilerplate, but they're mostly PDF images. So, you can't read the text. So how do you extrapolate where there's differences? How do you determine how one was negotiated a year before versus another one? It becomes very manual intensive to be in the legal profession and manage contracts. So to have a technology where the AI allows you through a dashboard to see anomalies or differences and quickly get to sort of the root of what you're trying to get to, like what's the precedence on how we've handled this in the past, and not make errors that would otherwise happen because you just don't have the bandwidth to analyze 1,000 contracts.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing to see how AI is also helping in the legal field.
It totally is. And that show was really fun. Marielle Navarro got to co-host that one. And so with her quality assurance background, she got a lot of that in there as well. So from the technical side, I think it's a fantastic show. And yeah, I had to giggle a little at this idea of a robot paralegal. I thought, oh, that's cute. And but it makes a lot of sense. It goes along with this. Every time we have the conversation of AI, we land on it's not about replacement, it's about augmentation. And why not do this in the very necessary arena of legal work? So it's definitely kudos to LinkSquares.
Absolutely. Another way that knowledge workers can be smarter and faster and more efficient is by using AI. All right. So Kim, what do we got coming up this week? I think we have 3 shows lined up.
Sure.
Week, right?
Yeah, we do. We do have 3 shows. Tomorrow on Tuesday, there is the show with Juan Acosta. He is I had this all set up and then I started thinking around on stuff. I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on. I'm pulling a Carlos today, folks.
Let's see. He's with Tabella.
Faith and Technology with Tabella. Thank you. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock
Pacific.
Faith and Technology. As a person of faith, I'm interested in this one. Usually they're kind of disassociated, right? But how can a religious community leverage technology to serve their people?
Interesting.
Yes. And then on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock Pacific, we're going to have a show with properties.com. More information on that one coming, so you can check out our website or LinkedIn to kind of keep up to speed on that one. And then Wednesday afternoon, or at noon at 12 o'clock Pacific, we're going to be speaking with David Dulani, founder and CEO of 10Bound, about the future of sales for SaaS companies. Sales development, SDR teams drive sales pipeline at most high-growth SaaS companies. What is driving this function? So what's behind the need to increase sales development? So yeah, join us Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday's no show.
See you tomorrow, 12 o'clock.